guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. Now today's video will be the mid-monthly reading for the month of September 2018, focusing on the areas of career and finance and love and relationships. For the reading, I'll be using the Wheel of the Year Tarot for the love and relationships part of the reading, the Gilded Tarot for the career and finance. If I need to clarify anything, I'll use the Zillich Tarot. And I'll also pull additional oracle cards from the Romance Angels deck by Doreen Virtue and the Life Purpose oracle card deck, also by Doreen Virtue. As I like to remind you, these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate with you. In order to get a truly personalized reading focusing on you, what's going on in your life right now, you would need to get a private reading with me. If you're interested, all of the information that you need to order a private reading can be found in the description box below this video. Additionally, I would encourage you to watch not just your sun sign video, but also your rising and moon sign. Sometimes the messages, you can pick up bits and pieces in each of the readings, and then by listening to all three of them, you will get a more complete overview of what what you can be expecting, what might be coming up during the last portion of the month. And one last message, this is focusing on love and career and finance. If you're looking for just the general overview for the month of September, those have already been posted. You can find those, in the playlist on my channel. And then the ones for October will be coming out more towards the end of the month, when I'll also put out the full moon reading and do the next full moon drawing. All right, I think that's it as far as messages. So I will say bye for now, and we'll see each of the signs in 1 second for your reading. Hi Libra, hope you're doing well. I'm here to get into your mid-monthly reading. So we'll start off with the career and finance part of your reading. You have in the past position, the energy heading into the last 2 weeks of the month, the Six of Cups, followed by the Three of Wands, and the outbound energy for the month, the Two of Swords. And the overall energy for the last 2 weeks of the month, Major Arcana, number 20, Judgment. And from the Life Purpose oracle card deck, you have the card Leadership. Take charge of this situation. So starting off with the Six of Cups. Six of Cups usually speaks of, something related to the past. It can be memories from the past, people from our past. We're looking more at finances, career. So this could be related in some way to even where you used to live, a place where you used to live before, your childhood home, somewhere close to where you used to live as a child. This could have to do with an opportunity that has to do with something that maybe you've wanted to do this since you were a child, right? There's this kind of connection to childhood or the past or memories. Usually the Six of Cups is, it's really to do with nostalgia and thinking back very fondly on something, right? The Suit of Cups has to do with our feelings, our emotions, relationships. It's also how our feelings sort of affect our behavior and also, push us through life and affect, the way that we interact with other people, affect our relationships, right? And with this appearing in the past, this might have, for some of you, this might have already happened, or this might be happening around the middle of the month. But there could be, something linked to the past here, with an opportunity. For some of you, I'm getting that, since we're looking more at finances, this could possibly have to do with, with a past connection. And as the number 6, if we think of 6 in the Major Arcana is the Lover's card, similar to the Lover's card, there can be some type of decision or choice that's at hand here related to you know, possibly a new opportunity. It could have to do with, it could be choosing, and we do have this waiting and then this decision here. And so it's kind of like the Six of Cups and this, you know, decision card, or really more correctly, this stalemate, right? This inability to make a decision. They sit kind of opposite each other, across from each other. And if we think of the six in the major tarot, in the major arcana, the Lover's card, it is a card that speaks of some type of significant decision, right? A choice, a head or heart decision, or the need for a balanced choice. So, you know, with the Six of Cups related in some way to the past, there could be, for some of you, this, you know, a message to do with not allowing the past to affect the present, right? Choosing, you know, choosing the right path forward now, you know, in the present to have a positive outcome in the future. So it's that, you know, as I guess is more sort of a warning or a guidance. It can be not letting, or be careful not to let your past or ideas from the past, you know, in some way interfere with or affect negatively your present and what might be coming up in the future. And with the Three of Wands sitting in the present, there's, you know, the Three of Wands, threes in the tarot have to do with expansive energy. On their card, the Three of Wands in particular is a card of, you know, great opportunities, sort of endless opportunities. And you can see that the man here, he's, you know, he's staring out to sea. We can see the Two of Wands here, which is you know, another card that speaks of decisions. It's oftentimes referred to as like the crossroads card, the needing to make, you know, choosing to go down one path as opposed to the other. Well, he's done that now, and you know, he's made a choice, and he's now standing there and waiting to see, you know, okay, and now what's going to happen? So he's waiting to see what type of return on investment he might have right after putting in the hard work and the effort. You know, what is he going to get back from it? There might have been, you know, a decision or a choice that you either you've already made it or it's coming up now, you know, and after making the decision, then you're kind of sitting and waiting, right? And it's this time of kind of, you know, gestation. If we think of like the Empress in the major arcana, she's number 3 of the major arcana, and she's very much about, you know, it's fertile energy. It's you know, giving birth to new ideas, giving birth to new projects. So, you know, with this card showing up, there could have been a choice, right? Going back to the Six of Cups, a choice that you have made, and now you're waiting, right? You're waiting on the results. As this man is looking out to sea, there could be something coming in from overseas, this opportunity or the news that you're waiting for could have this kind of overseas or international connection to it. There can be, you know, with this being wands, it can have to do with, you know, it's the day-to-day matters in life. It can also have to do with our work. It can have to do with creative projects, endeavors. So, you know, waiting to see what's going to happen. And then there's this, you know, stalemate card here with the Two of Swords as the outbound energy. So it's like, you know, there's a decision has been made on something, then there's a waiting, and then there's this kind of stalemate coming in with the Two of Swords for you. And, you know, the stalemate card, the suit of swords to begin with is, you know, it's the suit of the mind. It has to do with our thoughts. It's the suit of the intellect. So it has to do with, you know, it's where we come up with our ideas. It's also the suit that's linked to, you know, intuition and you know, using our mind and then communicating those thoughts. So coming up with new ideas, coming up with projects, or, you know, something that we want to move forward on, right? And then it's communicating that, using our words to communicate our thoughts and our ideas to other people. Now, the Two of Swords is, you know, it's a very stagnant energy, because for whatever reason, you see the woman on the card, she's blindfolded, right? And so for whatever reason, you know, she's unable or unwilling to either see something for what it actually is, or to make a decision. or to face a situation, right? This the Two of Swords is sometimes it's when you're not willing to, to face something or somebody. But it's, it's kind of stuck in place, right? It's a stagnant energy. And it's like she has the intellect. It's the suit of swords. She has the intuition, but she's stuck. She's not, she's in this very defensive type of position, and she's not using, her intellect or her intuition to make progress, to move forward. So again, there could be a decision. This decision, it could be something that you have been pondering on for quite a while. Again, it could have something to do with your past, or, there might be this not allowing the past to affect, this decision or this new opportunity, or, moving forward. But there's a need to face, there's a need to, to remove the blindfold and to take control of the situation. And, again, the Judgment card, as the overall energy, again, there's this message coming through of, decisions, right? A judgment call, right? A major decision coming in with the Judgment card. And as major arcana, this is a significant message, right? But it also tells me that, there is definitely divine orchestration at play. There's divine intervention at play here, okay? So, if things have been stagnant, or if there has been, for whatever reason, this inability to face something or to move forward with something, the Judgment card comes in, and it's all about, you're being called, right? You're being called to make a decision. You're being called to pursue whatever this new opportunity is. You're being called to face things from the past, in order to move forward. You're being called to make the decision to move out of this Two of Swords energy here. So, and also with the Judgment card, there's a calling to make a decision, or to, to do something. But then there's this sort of newness, right? With the Judgment card, you're being called to do something. And then there's, what comes after the judgment will be something brand new, right? So through death comes new life, and there's this newness about, what's going on here. But there's a decision that has to be made, right? You're definitely being called. Yes, it might be a little frightening, which could possibly explain this Two of Swords and, being unwilling to move forward. So you might be afraid of this judgment call over here and the changes that whatever this is might bring. So, the new job might bring these changes that you're not sure what they might be, or how your life will be after it, or if this is, going on a new, completely new path, or starting up your own business. Whatever this new judgment call is for you, it's about not being afraid of it, okay? Allow the changes to come in. Listen to the judgment call, right? Listen to the calling, and then go with it, right? Move forward. And sort of listen to that calling from within as well. Listen to the inner calling. Listen to that inner voice. Now let's see how, because again, the Leadership card, let me see what the message is for this card, but I feel that it has to do with taking control. Let's see. It says, this card comes to you as a signal that you are ready to assume your role as a leader. You recently may have come across a situation in which you thought, somebody should do something about this. Well, you are that somebody. Although you may not feel entirely prepared or qualified to assume your leadership role, the angels assure you that you are ready. They will guide you through every step that you can gain so that you can gain confidence and certainty about your path. Take time to meditate and listen to your inner guidance, which will clearly show you your first steps upon this path. Your leadership will inspire others to speak up and take charge of their lives as well. So yes, listen to that inner voice. And it comes through again with the Two of Swords, right? The Judgment card. Listen to that inner voice, right? As you make this decision. Don't allow memories from the past, people from the past, situations, maybe, how you acted, behaved in the past, how you dealt with a situation, or, this calls for taking control of situation. So in the past, if you weren't, very sort of leader-like, if you didn't take control of things, you're now being asked to, look at that, think back to how you reacted or handled things in the past, and then make this change, okay? Make this change, because there's definitely opportunities here for you. There's, with this Three of Wands, could even be, across the seas. It could be, or even at a distance, or, something to do with being by water with this Three of Wands card. So there could be an opportunity there, but there's a fear that has to be released. There's, a need to listen to your inner voice, to that inner calling. So, important message, I feel, with those cards coming through. Okay, now let's move on to your relationship part of the reading. And you have very nice cards here again. We have, in the past position, the Ace of Wands, followed by the Six of Swords. The outbound energy is the Six of Wands. And the overall energy is another ace, the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, and from the Romance Angels deck, you have reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. And that's interesting because, not to, obviously these are two separate readings, but sometimes, sometimes the cards or the energies, the messages, they do sort of, sometimes they go together, I've noticed. Sometimes they're completely different. Sometimes we have very similar, the same cards. And here, I feel that you have, with the Judgment card, the Six of Cups having to do with the past. Sometimes the Six of Cups can have to do with, past life connections with people, or just people from your past relationships, people even returning. And we do have another six here, right? So the two sixes, well, actually you have two sixes in your spread. You have two sixes, two aces. And then as far as suits go, we have two wands, one swords, one pentacles. We don't have any cups, but, new beginnings, leaving things behind, leaving things in the past, moving on to, better things, better times, better situations. And, it could have to do with, even though I don't have, like the cards that would usually kind of tell me that, there's a coming back, or a, like reconnecting or rekindling. For example, the Page of Cups, or even the Ace of Cups, right? As far as healing, healing of a relationship. I do get that, that for some of you, there could be, you could have been in a relationship with somebody. There might have been, this time apart. You've, even moved away from the other person, taken time apart from each other. And possibly, especially with this reconciliation card coming out, there could be new beginnings, right? And these new beginnings are, they're very blessed occurrences. There's definitely sort of divine orchestration at play here with the two aces. So, and, with the Six of Wands being success, there could be, that for some of you, there could be a reconciliation, right? Because if we look at the cards sort of separately, the Ace of Wands is a card that speaks of new beginnings, right? And it's, especially in a relationship reading, it can have to do with, very passionate, sort of the beginning, that spark of passion when you first meet a person, or when the relationship is just getting started and everything is brand new and exciting, right? And in this particular deck, you can actually see that it's, there is this spark there, right? You see the little flame. So there's the this sort of spark of passion, or spark of something brand new, new beginnings, yeah, new and exciting new beginnings. Within, it could be a brand new relationship. If it isn't, there could be this rekindling of, getting back together with somebody you were already in a relationship with. This, finding the spark again within the relationship, coming together again to work on it, right? To leave the whatever happened, whatever negative, the bad things, the baggage, leave it in the past and sail into, calmer waters. That is definitely what the Six of Swords card is about. It's a card of, it's one of the two transition cards in the Tarot, right? The Eight of Cups, Six of Swords. They're transition cards. And this one especially has, there's movement involved. You can see that he's pushing the boat out, and it's like he's moving away. It's interesting because usually the Six of Swords, it shows a woman. She has her back turned, usually with a child, and then there's a man in the boat, like rowing her away, and she's sailing out of choppy waters into calmer waters. So there, it usually shows this movement and turning your back on something and heading towards, a better situation, a calmer situation. But it's interesting because this man, he's the one who is actually, in charge of the boat, and he's actually moving away from solid land, right? And it's like he has all the swords, all those negative things. They're after him, and he's, heading away. It's like he's trying to escape from the swords here. And in this deck, it's called the Sea Voyage. So there is, this actual mention of the sea and this voyage by the sea, and it speaks of can have to do with a transfer, an actual move to, right, to a distant place, international. And there was also this, right, it sits underneath this Three of Wands. So for some of you, there could be coming in, over the next couple of weeks, as a connection to overseas or possibly overseas travel, maybe. But it's about, there's this uncertainty as he pushes the boat out, right? He's not that sure, which if we think about, if you are reconciling with somebody, there is always that, that slight trepidation, that, that fear that, wow, is it going to work this time? And if I give this person a second chance, or if we give the relationship a second chance, are we going to be able to leave all those things in the past behind us and, have the celebration, move on, have this beautiful new relationship? And I would say, if there's any fear surrounding a reconciliation, it's, it's not, you don't need to, right? You don't need to have this fear because there's victory. The Six of Wands is a victory card. It's a card of great celebration, of accolades, of, it can be you kind of receiving accolades for a job well done, if this is more of a thinking of, within the career space. But in general, it's a card of victory. And you can see that, she's being crowned here. There's great celebration. She's being crowned with this beautiful wreath of flowers. So it's it can have to do with like being crowning of dreams, having your dreams come true, having your hopes come, things finally working out. It can have to do with, it can be success, but it can also be success within the relationship. And so if you have been wanting to get back with somebody, or if you have decided to, to reconcile, to give the relationship another chance, there's great victory, success at hand. And with the Ace of Pentacles as the overall energy, again, another new beginning, but with it being Pentacles is the suit of, that deals with the material thing, the tangible things here in the material realm, right? The suit of Wands, it's, fire energy, and fire energy, it's very passionate, it's very exciting, it flares up very quickly. It can also burn out quickly, right? But with Pentacles is, it's there for the long haul. So thinking about a relationship, if there is a rekindling, if there is a new start within this relationship, you're giving the person a second chance, there's it has staying power, right? This relationship or this new opportunity, this new chance that you're giving, right? Or the other person is giving you, or you're both giving the relationship. There's staying power here, okay? So it's a card of joy. This is a card of, great fortune. It can speak of inheritance and that type of fortune, and abundance, fertility, but thinking of it, more to do with relationships. This is a card of again, a victory, of it's a yes card. So if you've been waiting for an answer as far as this reconciliation, the answer here is yes, go for it, right? Give it a chance here. For those of you who are not currently, if this isn't a reconciliation type of situation, this could be, just leaving behind any negative baggage, this baggage from previous relationships. And, in order to begin any type of new relationship, to have a new person in your life, to have a successful relationship, there might be a need to release. And there was this again with the Six of Cups, right? Releasing and not allowing the past to influence your present. So there's a kind of a repeated message that I'm getting here, to not allow past mistakes, past, bad relationships, just memories about these negative relationships from the past, not allow them to come into your present, right? Because there's a lot of very positive energy surrounding you here in the present. So, don't allow that to in any way impact or impede new relationships. So let's take a look at this reconciliation card. And it says, this card indicates that an ex-lover may be re-entering your life. The purpose of this reconciliation is to achieve healing and closure with respect to your past. Again, this past reference, right? You will understand more about yourself and see your relationship patterns more clearly. You will also take responsibility for the role you played in the relationship's drama, which will free you from the tyranny of unforgiveness. Reconciliations are ultimately about taking care of unfinished business. This card could possibly mean making peace with a family member or friend. Each relationship is a sacred learning experience, so be open to the reunion's lessons and blessings. Ultimately, all healings help your love life and every other part of your world. So interesting. So, kind of, similar, or I'm picking up repeated messages almost. So similar energies I feel coming through, something to do with releasing the past. So within your relationship, releasing any negative thoughts or memories, baggage from the past. And if this is a reconciliation, right, there's a reason for this to be happening. So give it a chance, right? There's victory to be had, even if the victory is just more about, the personal growth, this growing and releasing and getting out of this, negative thought pattern or negative relationship pattern. There's a reason for it. But overall, it looks like a good rest of the month for you. So I do hope that the messages have helped. I thank you for joining me today. I look forward to reading for you again. And just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful rest of the month. Bye for now.